Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. General Hospital offered some wildly unpopular storylines, including those with Cyrus Renault, Jeff Kober, Sasha Gilmore, Sophia Matson, and most of all, Sam McCall, Kelly Monaco. Fans have been on fire and raging over that last one with Sam. They started a petition, rented a billboard, and even sent a signage truck by the studio to voice their outrage. Our number 5 worst plot of the year past is the unasked for redemption of Heather Weber, Allie Mills. She was a killer long before her hip implant. GH cleaning up the notorious scoop killer sparked anger among fans. Even worse on General Hospital, Mayor Laura Spencer, Jeannie Francis, helped her case. Then bringing back Stephen Lars Weber, Scott Reeves, was frustrating. Our number 4 most disliked plot was Christina Corinthos, Kate Mansi, and Molly Lansing's Kristen Vaganos surrogacy story. It took a distasteful turn on General Hospital. Christina's antics were terrible, and then culminating in the baby's accidental death iced the cake. We ranked Sasha Gilmore's Wrekin as a Scorpio as our 3rd worst plot of 2024. Not because we disliked the Scorpios, but because of what General Hospital then did with Holly Sutton, Emma Sams, and Robert Scorpio, Tristan Rogers. Our number 2 storyline we disliked the most was Stan McCall's fate as they set up Kelly Monaco's firing. Having Cyrus Renault murdered Stan and also Dex Heller, Evan Hofer, make fans rage. General Hospital wrapping Sam's death at Cyrus' hands into Lou Spencer's. Alexa Havens, recast was a further frustration, but by far the number 1 worst plot on GH in the past year was about Drew Quartermain, Cameron Matheson. Watch the video to find out which particular storyline of Drew's made it our worst plot. And also see our 5 honorable mentions for terrible General Hospital plots, because there were so many to choose over the prior year on GAs. For over 50 years, General Hospital has been one of the most iconic soap operas, constantly delivering drama, suspense, and unexpected twists. While fans have been devoted to the long-running series, there have certainly been some head-scratching storylines that left viewers frustrated and confused. Some of these storylines involve beloved characters, whose arcs took unexpected and sometimes regrettable turns. From Sam's numerous ill-conceived relationships to Cyrus Renault's melodramatic villainy, and Sasha's bizarre struggles. These narratives didn't do much to enhance the characters involved, and in some cases did the opposite by tarnishing their legacies. Sam McCall, portrayed by Kelly Monaco, has had one of the most tumultuous rides in General Hospital. Initially, she was introduced as a strong, independent woman with a dark past. However, her relationships, particularly with Jason Morgan, have always seemed to overshadow her character development. One of the most disappointing aspects of Sam's storylines has been her constant back and forth with Jason, a pairing that grew increasingly tiresome and repetitive over time. While many fans enjoyed the chemistry between Sam and Jason in their early days, their constant breakups and reunions began to feel like a lazy narrative crutch for the writers. It seemed that Sam's entire character was defined by her on-again, off-again romance with Jason, to the point where she barely had any agency or direction of her own. The storyline of Sam constantly being put into situations where she was forced to choose between Jason and another romantic interest only served to drag on her character's development. At times, her storylines felt like they were more about keeping Jason at the center of the show, rather than giving Sam the opportunity to evolve. Whether it was her brief, ill-fated romance with Drew Kane or her wild entanglements with men like Lucky Spencer, it was clear that the writers struggled to find a more compelling direction for Sam. Her character often seemed stuck in the cycle of will they or won't they with Jason, with little progress made in her emotional arc. Cyrus Renault, the ruthless mob boss, was introduced as a major antagonist on General Hospital. Played by Jeff Kober, Cyrus initially appeared to be a compelling villain, bringing tension and drama to the screen. However, as his storyline progressed, he became less the strategic mastermind and more a one-dimensional caricature of evil. His motivations became increasingly convoluted, and his over-the-top antics turned what could have been a subtle, threatening character into something downright laughable. At first, it seemed that Cyrus was an imposing figure, but the writers had difficulty keeping him consistent. One moment, he would be threatening Port Charles with violence and manipulation, and the next he would be surprisingly sentimental, as if he had a heart of gold beneath the tough exterior. This inconsistency undermined any sense of genuine menace, leaving viewers scratching their heads at his erratic behavior. While some fans appreciated the dramatic flair he brought to the show, many were left questioning how such a capable mobster could be so easily outwitted by the residents of Port Charles. One of the most frustrating aspects of Cyrus' arc was his constant failure to be a truly formidable villain. Time and time again, he was thwarted by the most unlikely of heroes, and rather than becoming more formidable, he seemed to grow increasingly weak and ineffectual. By the time he was taken down, the story felt like a missed opportunity, and fans were left wondering what could have been if the writers had approached the character with more nuance. Sasha Gilmore, played by Sophia Matson, was introduced as a glamorous model with ties to the wealthy and powerful Corinthos family. Initially, she was an intriguing character. Her journey soon took a bizarre and controversial turn. One of the most glaring missteps in Sasha's storyline came when she suffered a drug overdose, which was initially shocking and had the potential for some deep emotional storytelling. However, this narrative quickly spiraled into absurdity, especially when it was revealed that Sasha was faking a pregnancy. The whole Sasha is pregnant plot was fraught with unrealistic twists that felt like a desperate attempt to create drama. It was a prime example of a plotline that stretched disbelief to its breaking point. Sasha's fake pregnancy was presented as a way to hold onto a relationship with her then boyfriend, Michael Corinthos, but the entire premise was flawed from the start. Viewers were left baffled as to why Sasha would go to such extreme lengths to deceive Michael, especially after her previous struggles with addiction. The storyline also lacked any real emotional depth or authenticity, making it hard for viewers to connect with Sasha during this time. Rather than focusing on the emotional ramifications of her drug use and fake pregnancy, the writers seemed more concerned with sensationalizing the drama for the sake of shock value. While it could be argued that Sasha's descent into these dark places was meant to show the consequences of her actions, it ended up feeling more like a misguided plot device rather than a true exploration of her character. One of the most polarizing characters in General Hospital history has to be Nell Benson, played by Chloe Lanier. Nell's saga, particularly her relationship with Michael Corinthos and her various schemes to destroy the Corinthos family, was often poorly executed. Nella was initially introduced as a somewhat sympathetic character, but her rapid descent into villainy was both baffling and over the top. What made Nell's storylines particularly frustrating was the sheer lack of logic behind many of her decisions. She went from being a victim of circumstances to a mastermind villain, with motivations that were as muddled as they were far-fetched. Nell's constant scheming and manipulations became tiresome, especially as she attempted to use her son Wiley as a pawn in her twisted plans. Her obsession with Michael and his family made little sense, given the lack of personal connection, and her endless attempts to sabotage those around her felt more like an artificial plot device than a well-thought-out character arc. Even when Nella was given moments of vulnerability or redemption, they felt hollow and unearned. Her sudden, inexplicable changes of heart did nothing to make her a more sympathetic or complex character. Instead, they only highlighted the lack of depth and consistency in her storyline, leaving fans frustrated and disconnected from her character. Jason Morgan, Steve Burton, has long been a fan favorite on General Hospital, but his storylines over the years have sometimes veered into the realm of overcomplication. One of the most drawn-out and frustrating arcs was the storyline involving Jason's struggle against the World Security Bureau, the LASB, and his quest for answers regarding his past. This saga took far too long to develop, and the constant references to his forgotten memories and supposed mystery dragged on endlessly. Jason's identity and his complicated history, the WSB, became an excuse for repetitive plot points and a lack of real progression in his character. The emphasis on mystery over character development made it difficult for fans to remain invested. While the reveal of Jason's past could have been an exciting twist, the drawn-out nature of this particular arc made it feel unnecessarily tedious and long-winded. Though General Hospital has had many standout moments and memorable storylines, the show has also been guilty of wasting the potential of certain characters and ideas. Whether it's Sam's endless relationship dramas, Cyrus' inconsistent villainy, Sasha's nonsensical pregnancy plot, Nell's confusing descent into villainy, or Jason's repetitive amnesia arcs, these storylines ultimately left fans feeling disappointed. At its best, General Hospital thrives on its ability to combine family drama, romance, and high-stakes action, creating complex characters that viewers care about. Unfortunately, these storylines reflect a time when the show lost sight of what made these characters special and opted instead for convoluted twists that did little to move their stories forward. If the show had focused on deeper character development, it might have been able to craft more compelling and lasting arcs for these beloved characters. Instead, Fans were left with the frustrating realization that sometimes less is more when it comes to soap opera storytelling.